I guess we'll see. So, sort of last but not least was Qlik. I mean, what was your take on what they announced?
Yeah, I thought Clicks was actually quite interesting because partially because Click has been trying to really broaden their portfolio. They are private equity owned at this point, and they are bringing in all of the pieces as quickly as they can. Really, they've been spending a lot of money. I give them a lot of credit for trying to build a comprehensive data and analytics solution, and they've been launching their data discovery agent, forecasting, data prep. Again, kind of like Alteryx, trying to talk about how they are consolidating all their capabilities into a single Qlik cloud analytics solution, but also adding their auto ML capability, their application automation capabilities, and making a holistic solution that goes across the board.
So the one thing they announced, which I want to make sure I'm understanding, and I'm curious your take, is what they're calling Write Table, which apparently is a new feature, if I'm reading this right, that is basically allowing data analysts to annotate data directly within the analytics platform itself. Um, and then I didn't. It's talking about governed write back, but I'm not clear if that means the annotated elements. But in either case, I thought that was interesting because this has always
Mhm.
been one of the bugaboos when it comes to data analytics, and when you have, I mean, this is sort of in the weed stuff. But what was your take on that one?
Yeah, I think it's always been difficult to contextualize data because you have to then put that contextualized data usually in another table and figure out how that's linked and make sure it doesn't get orphaned over time. So this is not that complicated, to be honest, but it is a capability that is often ignored, and then metadata gets lost in a more generalized catalog or in an unattached data source that doesn't necessarily get migrated or kept up in a standard way. So I that's all I took out of it. It's not super technical, to be honest, but it is a necessary piece of the puzzle if you don't want to lose context going forward. And obviously, for an AI perspective, that's really important. If you want to use your data to further train or tune a model going forward, or build your own custom model over time, which we are more likely do in the next few years once we are more comfortable with AI.
Yeah, well, and that is why I'm interested in it, because I do think we're at the stage right now where organizations that are getting their data house in order and are annotating their data, contextualizing it independently, are going to set themselves up for a more positive leveraging of AI, because that's going to be the missing gap, right? I mean,
Mhm.
absent that, then we're relying on AI to sort of intuit those relationships on its own, which is going to sometimes work and sometimes not work as well. And so the more you can enable an organization to annotate that data as part of the existing flow today, I think that actually is a good thing. So that's why I sort of tuned into it. And then the last little part that we should point out is there is some rebranding going on with Qlik, very minor. One, they renaming Qlik Auto ML now is called Qlik Predict, and Qlik Automation Application Automation. They dropped the application part, and it is now just Qlik Automate. And pointing out for two reasons. One, we're going to talk about rebranding here in a couple of minutes as we close out the show. But secondly, it just proves how flippin' difficult it is to name anything right now when the markets are moving so fast,
Mhm.
because Auto ML, which I presume stood for machine learning, sounded probably made a ton of sense just 2 years ago. And today it's
Sure.
like not so much. So